Hello everyone! In this video, we're going to learn about solving literal equations. So as we can see here, this equation has no numbers. It is just letters. But this is simply what we call a formula, which is basically we have variables that will be plugged in with numbers in order to give us another number. Here, this is the formula for the area of rhombus. So we know that the area of a rhombus can be found by multiplying its base by its height. So what we're going to be doing today is basically just rewriting the formula for a specific variable. In this case, they want us to solve for h, for the height. And so we want to rewrite this using the same inverse operations that we've been working with in the previous videos in order to solve for that variable. So let's think about it. Here we want to solve for h. And what's in the way of h is b. And so, since b is being multiplied, in order to get rid of it, we want to divide by b in order to cancel it out. And what we do on one side, we do to the other. So I'm going to do a divided by b is equal to h. And that's it. So now pause the video and take a moment to try this problem out. And when you're ready, unpause it and let's work on it together. Here they're giving us the volume for a rectangular prism, which is found by multiplying its length times its width times its height. And they want us to simply solve for L, for the length. So the way that we would do that is that we need to see what variables are around L that we need to get rid of. Here we have W and H. And those two are being multiplied to L. So in order to get rid of them, we need to divide everything by W and H in order to cancel those out, and then we do it again to the other side. So V divided by W and H is equal to L. Here they give us the area of a circle, which is found by multiplying pi times the radius squared. And they want us to solve for the radius. Well, we're going to follow the same SAD method. So there's nothing being subtracted or added, so we don't need to worry about that. However, we do need to get rid of this pi, which is being multiplied to r. So I'm going to divide by pi on both sides to cancel it out, and I get left with a divided by pi is equal to r squared. Now this r still has that exponent of 2, which is our next step, the exponent. And the way that we get rid of exponents is by doing its root. So here we have an exponent of 2, which means that we are going to apply a square root to both sides. And my final answer will be the square root of a divided by pi is equal to the radius. Now here, they give us the volume of a cylinder. So try this problem out to solve for h, for its height. And now when you're ready, unpause the video and let's work on it together. And I'll give you a hint. You're not going to have to get rid of the exponent this time. So here we have that the volume of a cylinder is equal to pi r squared times its height. And they want us to solve for h. So we simply want to get rid of this pi and this r squared, which are both being just multiplied to h. So all I need to do is to divide by pi and by that r squared in order to cancel it out, and then do it to the other side again. And now I get that the volume divided by pi times its radius squared gives us the height. And that's it. Here they give us the volume for a sphere, which is 4 over 3 times pi times its radius cubed. So they want us to solve for pi. But now the first thing that I want to do is I want to get rid of that fraction. So everything is being divided by 3. So I'm going to simply multiply everything by 3, which I only need to do once because this is all one term. And then that way 3 would cancel out, and I just do it to the other side as well. And I get left with 3v is equal to 4 pi r cubed. And now all I need to think about is what is 4 and what is r cubed doing to pi? Well, it's just being multiplied. So I just need to divide pi by 4 and by r cubed, and the same thing to the other side. And I get left with 3v divided by 4r cubed is equal to pi. And the way that I know I did this right is that everything should be doing the inverse than from the original equation. So for example, here we're dividing by 3, but here we're multiplying by 3. Here we're multiplying by 4, but here we're dividing by 4. And same thing, here we're multiplying by r cubed, and here I'm dividing by r cubed. So that's how I know I did it right. Here they want us to solve for m. Now keep in mind that this is what we call a subscript. That subscript just basically tells us that this y is different than this y. And same thing for the x's. This x is different than this x. But anyways, let's solve for m. These parentheses are simply being multiplied to m. So all I need to do is to divide by those same parentheses in order to get rid of them. And just like that, I am now left with y minus y1 divided by x minus x1 is equal to m. And that's it. And you're going to want to remember these formulas because we're going to use them in the future topics. Here, they simply want us to solve for y. So we need to think, what are the other variables doing to y that are on the same side, of course? And we see that y1 is being subtracted from y. So we are going to simply add y1 on both sides, and I get left with y is equal to m, and I keep everything else the same. And now I simply add plus y1. Now take a moment to pause the video and try this problem out. And when you're ready, unpause the video and let's work on it together. Here I have y is equal to mx plus b, and I simply want to solve for b. So I need to think, what is m and x doing to b? Well, if your instinct was to divide x or divide m, well, that's wrong. Because we need to think about what is it doing to b. Here we said it's being added. So I need to do the inverse of that, which is to simply subtract by mx on both sides, and I get left with y minus mx is equal to b. And if you made any mistakes, well, it's okay, because that's the importance of watching the video and wanting to learn. Now try this last problem on your own, and when you're ready, unpause the video and let's work on it together. Here I have ax plus by is equal to c, and I simply want to solve for y. Well, let's remember our SAD map. So first, I'm going to subtract ax from both sides, and then I'm going to be left with by is equal to c minus ax, and b and y are being multiplied, so I'm going to simply divide both sides by b, and I get y is equal to c minus ax divided by b. And that's it.